Good afternoon, morning, or evening, or whatever time it is where you are. Welcome to Torchcast Episode 2. Today I have with me Zachary Rounds, a local artist, and Jacob Quist, a fellow student at Ferris State. Today we're just going to be talking about Zach's artwork and just life, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, thank you, and let's go to the dog pound. So Zach, would you like, well, I guess I already said your first name, but that's all right. Introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Zach Rounds, and I do art.
Well, what
that's
kind of
basically
art?
it.
What kind of art do you do, Zach?
A lot of street art encouraged or inspired stuff. So like portrait work, stencil work, some lettering stuff, digital stuff, kind of just all over the place.
Okay, now you see, if it weren't for this being a podcast, I'd of course have you show some examples, but
you can imagine them.
Yes, we can imagine them, and I guess you'll just have to do that. They're really great, I promise. Yeah, describe some of your work for us.
So a lot of it is inspired by pop art and street art at the same time. So people like Roy Lichtenstein, Andy Warhol, Shepard Fairey, Banksy, just kind of what I like from their work, taking that and kind of putting that into mine. A lot of the stuff that I make is also like slightly inspired by a lot of space themed things. That's kind of what I started out making. And yeah, just kind of all over the place at the moment. And
you, like, people can actually access your work, correct?
Yeah.
Like, how can they do that?
I have an Instagram. I have a Facebook too, but Facebook is lame, so I don't really post on there that much. So I recommend checking out Instagram if you want to. It's at The Planet Studio.
Okay, and I've actually seen some of your work, and I gotta say, it's actually really, really good. I've actually really enjoyed checking it out, and get some sweet stickers too. Guess he's got some merch. So definitely check him out. It's some awesome stuff on his page. And next to me also is Jacob Quist. Jacob, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a pretty good day so far.
Had a good first couple weeks of classes here?
Oh, they're just, your regular classes. A lot different than high school, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? For
sure, man. For sure. See, Jacob Quist, he's a freshman here at Ferris, and it's just it's been definitely an interesting first couple weeks, especially for him being a freshman. Jacob, what are you really majoring in right now? What are you going for?
Right now, I came in. I am thinking journalism.
Okay.
I like writing about stuff, specifically sports. I don't really have any ideas on what else I would like to do, so
I could just kind of seeing where things go.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, man. I guess you could say we've all been there. We're all going there.
Yeah.
Don't really know where we're going, but hey, that's the fun part. It's the journey. The topic for today that I kind of want to run by you, since, street artist and college freshman, no offense there, but, just kidding.
Okay.
Meme culture. It's become quite the thing in our day and age.
I do like memes.
Yeah.
Everyone likes memes. And I'd just like to hear what you guys think about it. Jacob, I'm going to start with you because I know you were quite the connoisseur from talking before the show started.
Okay, so, I am very into memes. I make memes. Lots of people laugh at them. That's kind of like my my talent, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Recently my favorite one has been Thanos Truck. Thanos Truck has been absolutely blowing up the internet, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's basically...
Do enlighten us, please. Can you explain it?
It's a truck that looks like Thanos. That's it. It's purple with a chin, okay? And the chin looks pretty darn good, if I say so myself. You might think it's Thanos in the Cars movie. I think it's a very good meme. I'd give it a 8 out of 10 if this was a meme review.
Dang, that's high.
But it's
pretty high, man.
It's a podcast, not a meme review. You're
right. So I'm just going to take a break from the Thanos truck here. Zach, from street art over here, are there any artistic memes that speak to you, or just general?
That reminds me. There's this street artist called @LushSucks. That's his Instagram link. And he is really, actually like a really, really talented artist and really knows what he's doing. But he just paints memes, and they're all awesome. One of them that he's going to paint like this weekend, I think, is actually the Thanos truck. So I'm obviously really looking forward to that.
Okay.
A lot of Trump memes. Those are always really funny, no matter where you stand. Trump memes are always funny.
Yes, they are.
The one thing we can all stand in agreement on when it comes to are present in today's culture. It seems we can all agree that the memes can be pretty funny.
Yes.
They bring us together, I guess.
They're very funny.
Prequel memes are always good. Star Wars prequel
Yes.
memes.
He hasn't
Especially
done
from the
any of
third
those.
movie.
We're just
I'm
dabbing into left
surprised.
field now.
Yeah. Oh, and he did like
Meme
a
wilderness.
3-story tall PewDiePie mural
Yep.
of just his face.
Okay.
It was epic. PewDiePie loved it.
Okay.
And I loved it too.
Is that so?
Yeah.
You seem pretty fond of the PewDiePie mural over there.
I just really like PewDiePie.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on now because that was interesting. Good gracious. So, guys, if there's like one meme that you could bring back to like top of the board.
Pepe.
Oof. No, Pepe's always at the top for me. You know, my favorite memes in the past, I really like any meme that's got Thanos in it or Star Wars in it is extremely hilarious. Roblox memes, those are very good. Minecraft memes are very good. But if I were to bring one single meme back, there was this meme on a meme review by PewDiePie.
Okay, back to PewDiePie.
Close personal friend of mine.
Oh, sure.
He reviewed Logan Paul with the forest incident. And I thought those memes were hilarious because I don't like that guy very much. He's kind of dumb. I mean, he just had that boxing match with KSI that ended in a controversial draw, which is like, what the heck, KSI definitely won.
They obviously both lost.
But I like the Japan memes with Logan Paul. Those put a smile on my face.
They're all about the respect.
Yeah, respect.
Of course, guys. And now, would you say there's a winning formula, like a perfect formula to making the best meme? Is there a formula out there for memes, or is it just kind of
It's got to be perfect amount of edgy, not too edgy, because then it's like too offensive even for the edgiest of memers.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's got to be sarcastic a lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times sarcastic memes, at least for me, score really high.
Okay.
Reference to pop culture.
Yep.
Very important.
Or historic events like World War II memes, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Or just complete randomness. Like, I guess this is kind of a reference to pop culture, but there was this comic book that was like a really weird version of Sonic that a bunch of people kept making memes of, and that it was just totally random. It made no sense, but that's what made it funny.
But it really just took up, didn't it? It was the Sonic theme?
Sonic Chew.
Sonic Chew?
No, the Sonic is something else.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty funny too, but it kind of died.
Yeah, you gotta.
You know, I really had no idea how big meme culture was.
That's a big.
I know I mentioned earlier that hey, this is something in our society, but after talking to you guys, I had no idea that it was so involved.
Yeah, we have no life, so memes are pretty much the daily.
Why have a life when you can have memes?
That's a good point.
To some people, I guess that can be the truth. Now, would you say should there be a meme degree? Should you have major in memes?
I think that should not exist.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
it kind of, sort of is a thing. I mean,
Is
there's a graphic design degree, and a lot of times, like, there's ads. There's a lot of ads in, like, you know, magazines and all over the place that sometimes reference memes, and whoever made that obviously has, like, a degree in graphic design, so that's probably the closest you can get to a meme degree.
And Zach, you do have a degree in graphic design, right? You
heck yeah.
Associates in graphic design from Baker, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
the best college ever.
Yeah, okay. Go Dogs. Anyways, Zach, would you consider... I know, I'm saying Ferris is better.
No, it's not.
Okay, we can agree to disagree, but that's okay. Anyway, Zach, what would you consider you to have majored in memes then from your graphic design?
Obviously, because everything I make is a joke. My whole life is a joke.
Okay. So, we talked a lot about memes, and I don't want to dilute the interest here, so we're going to kind of jump into something a little more into your personal lives again. I know we touched on it in the introductions of you guys, but I kind of really want to hear more about the hobbies. I know, Zach, we touched on your art and your style, but really, like, what's a project you really want to partake in? What is something that you really want to get done someday?
So I've done a couple pieces at like skate parks or just a skate park at the moment.
Okay.
So far, but I'd really like to actually do like a full-on mural, whether that be like on a business or some kind of abandoned building, legally.
Of course.
Yeah, duh, I only do legal stuff. And I don't know. I would just like to do a really big project. I don't know if anyone in the audience has like seen pieces done before where it's like this abandoned factory with this giant wall that has like this epic piece on it or whatever. I think that would be really fun to make, like a giant portrait of somebody doing something cool or whatever. So yeah, I've currently also only been using like cheap materials, like just some cheap house paint and some cheap spray paint, and I want to start investing in more expensive stuff to make the work look better, and you know, just kind of get out there and start becoming a real artist.
For sure. Now, I feel like a lot of artists may kind of feel like they want to become a quote-unquote real artist in society's eyes. Would you say, like, does that require anything to become a quote-unquote real artist, or are you already technically a real artist because of your abilities?
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what you think a real artist is. Like, I mean, there's a lot of pieces out there that are in museums that it looks like a 3-year-old did it. And, I mean, I don't know, maybe a 3-year-old did do some of those pieces. But, I don't know. I think it kind of partly depends on if people actually like it or not. Like, you don't really see any major artists that nobody likes. Because, I mean, nobody likes them.
For sure.
So I think that's a big part of it. There's definitely, especially in my area, like street art and all that, it's definitely not based off of like, you know, like if your art sells or whatever. Like I don't think that's important necessarily, other than, you know, being able to feed yourself. That's kind of important.
Always.
Good point.
Yeah. But like, you know, I think the important thing is being able to make work that other people like and that you like, of course. It's like for a while I felt like I was doing a lot of work that a lot of people in my community were really into, but I honestly just hated. So I kind of moved on from that, and not as many people like it now, but I'm really into it. So
and
that's
what would
cool.
you say your style is, if you don't mind me? Like, I know you said street art, graffiti, but
yeah,
what wouldn't they like?
What wouldn't they like?
Yeah, like why? Like, what was the change up? Like, what are you doing now that you
for a
enjoy?
while, when I started off, I was doing a lot of space scenes. Like,
Okay.
if you just look on YouTube, spray paint art, it's not gonna like come up with graffiti and stuff. It's gonna come up with a lot of like nature scenes made out of spray paint and stuff. And people in my community, like, where it's kind of, you know, a lot of more woodsy kind of stuff and everything, they were really into that, and they thought it was cool, kind of a reflection on the community and everything. But then I started doing more portrait work, more lettering, kind of graffiti style work, where in kind of a smallerish town, people aren't necessarily as into that. Where if I was in a place like Chicago or Detroit, they probably would be more accepting about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just kind of have gone to a few bigger cities. I remember I went to Guatemala, and that was a place where I got really inspired. And they had a lot of, it was like Guatemala City, and they had a lot of like lettering and all kinds of cool things that was really inspiring to me. So then I brought it back to my small town, and they weren't really into it, but you know.
You got to take a piece of another culture, kind of implement it in your own style of things.
Yeah, and I definitely have my own twist on it. Like it's definitely not like ghetto looking kind of stuff or whatever. Like I try to incorporate other things from the community and stuff that people can at least somewhat relate to, but also kind of, I guess, be the bridge between the two styles of like the cutesy kind of nature scenes that this community likes and the more kind of edgy graffiti styles that bigger cities are into.
So you kind of intertwine the two?
Yeah, I guess a bit, yeah.
Okay,
and
so you're kind of appeasing both sides, but also like in finding enjoyment in it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you're going with now, man. Sweet. Well, I'm excited to see some of your future work. Do you have any like big projects planned yet, or is it just kind of seeing where things take you right now?
Mostly just seeing where things take me. I'm trying to find like some walls or abandoned buildings or whatever that I can paint on. Cool. And I definitely have stuff like on my computer or notebooks on my phone. Like I'm taking notes all the time and stuff of projects that I want to do. It's just a matter of
finding
the resources, money, and everything. So.
Okay.
But yeah, at the moment I'm slow and steady, but
All right, awesome. Well, I'm gonna take a break from talking about spray paint and street art and the graffiti. Like, believe me, I could hear this all day. It's very fascinating because I know nothing about it, and I love learning new things. But I'm gonna kind of jump over to Jacob here. Jacob, you mentioned you were into journalism, especially sports journalism.
Mm-hmm.
What else are some of your hobbies? Like, do they involve just like writing, just being in sports? What you got going on?
So my hobbies are definitely not as sophisticated as Zach's.
no one's hobbies are more sophisticated.
No, I'm
than
not.
mine.
I'm not a painter.
So humble.
But I
You know it.
like music.
Okay, music.
I'm into music. I know how to play 5 instruments.
What are they?
My favorite and the first one I learned how to play was the piano. And I took that for about 6 years. Went to a couple like recitals or whatever. That sounds kind of girly, but recitals. And then I picked up the guitar. I'm not very good at the guitar, but it's whatever. Then I did the saxophone in school band, which I am kind of regretting that I did school band because they the way the teacher taught the class was very different than how I learned music, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it was like, let me try to put it together. In school band, it was more controlled, whereas when you were able to do it on your own, you were kind of like able to experiment with what worked for you.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the drums, my dad knows how to play the drums. He's pretty good. He taught me some stuff on the drums. And then the bass, which is kind of the newest thing that I've picked up, but I've gotten significantly better at the bass. I also writing. I do like to write a bit, but it's not like I'm not writing books or anything.
Okay.
It's just kind of like I keep like a journal
For sure.
that I write in. That's just kind of about like daily stuff. I like to watch sports, especially all the Chicago teams.
Okay.
I like how the Cubs are doing right now, first place in the Central. Bears haven't started yet, but they start this Sunday, which they'll probably lose to the Packers, no surprise.
That's the way things go in the NFL.
I know the Bears, they're garbage.
But we love them.
Yeah, they're the lovable losers. I got a friend that I go to Smash Brothers tournaments with. I know that's kind of like nerdy, but
Hey,
I
do
finished.
them all. You should join some of the residence halls have Smash tournaments. I remember seeing some of those over the summer. So, nerdy lifestyle, man. It's a good thing to live.
Heck yeah, brother. I'll have to go kick some butt in those.
Let's see it.
What else do I like to do? I have 4 siblings. They're a pain in the butt.
Okay. I mean, siblings always are.
Yeah.
But we love them.
But the age difference is just like crazy though, because Michaela is the one that's closest to me. She's 15, and then it jumps down to Natalie, who's 8,
Oh wow.
and then Penelope is 5, and Quentin is gonna be 2 in October.
Oh wow.
So there's a little bit of an age difference in there.
just a little.
Other than that, it's kind of just like I don't really do that much.
Aside from just keeping up with your studies,
Mhm.
playing your instruments,
Mhm.
writing in the journal, playing Smash.
Yeah,
Well, hey man, that's
it's not too bad.
not too bad at all. I could listen. to
It's
that.
not art, but
Hey.
in
In its own way, it's art.
yeah.
In its own way, it's art, I say. So also, kind of like, where do you guys want to see yourselves in like careers, like 10 years down the line? Like, what kind of career paths? Like, where do we see ourselves?
For me,
I really want to write for a bigger newspaper company. I know that kind of sounds dumb because a lot of stuff now is like online. You get your newspaper online on your phone or tablet. But I always like Superman and Spider-Man. Those guys worked in a newspaper, and those jobs always seemed like super cool to me.
Okay.
And I really want to work for a newspaper, kind of have that like old-timey, authentic, you got to get this done by then, print it out on paper kind of thing.
No, for sure.
And then
yeah,
kind of just like live in a big city.
live in a big city, write in the paper.
Yeah.
So like, Times or
I was thinking Chicago.
Chicago. Okay, Chicago. Can't talk tonight. The Chicago Tribune, is that what it's called?
Yeah, and the Sun.
And the Sun, okay.
Good stuff.
See, I gotta say, a lot of my friends call me an old man. You know, I'll go out to a diner for breakfast. I'll read the paper.
That's
It's
not
just
too
some,
bad.
it's a nice vintage feel to it almost.
It is very vintage.
It's a good lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Really, keeps the phones away from your face. Saves some of your eye strain.
Doesn't
You know?
give you cancer
That's debatable.
like a phone would.
Phones do give you cancer.
Yes, they do.
I
Says
just don't
looking at
care.
Zach as Zach plays on his phone. Anyway, Zach, jumping to you. What about you career-wise? What are you looking at?
So continue with the painting thing. I know, like, it's pretty cliched for people to be like, oh, it's an artist and he's trying to find a career in that. So obviously he's going to be homeless in like a week. But no, like we talked about before, I have my degree in graphic design. So I'm hoping to like kind of do half and half, do freelance graphic design for some people, maybe work for like some kind of graphic design company, and then the other side just building my personal brand, painting as much as I possibly can. I've always been into like screen printing and t-shirt making, so I might like start like a screen printing business or something like that. Kind of just something to do with like starting my own business and doing stuff on my own. I always liked the concept of doing that, so yeah.
Okay, well, hey, man, that's absolutely awesome. And again, that's Zach Rounds at the, what was your Instagram?
At the Planet Studio.
At the Planet Studios. Please go check him out. I cannot emphasize that enough. His work is absolutely amazing, and he always gives you a good price for it. As for Jacob, I don't really think he has anything to offer in terms of business-wise,
Thanks.
but we still love him.
No, just a casual college freshman. But if you do want to check out my Instagram, it's just personal pictures, but it's just Jacob H Quist. So yeah, we got some good stuff there. If you want to see my cute 2-year-old brother, there's a picture of him shoving his face in Cool Whip. So
And hey,
Well,
if
there we go.
you-
Check out the Cool Whip.
If you need someone to play 5 instruments at once at your wedding, Jacob's your guy.
All right, you hear that, folks? Zach will make the invitations, and Jake will play for free. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Torchcast Episode 2. Thank you for listening to our meme reviews, our meme talks. Don't really know what that was. Thank you for listening to Zach and Jacob just talk about their lives and their hobbies. So long, and take care.